Well, you picked a good night to stop by the kitchen. It's the Battle of the Chicken Gravies. We're going to do a burnt sugar gravy, sticky chicken, versus a traditional smothered chicken gravy. But what you don't want to miss this one is going down tonight. The coffee's on. I'm glad you stopped by. We're having chicken tonight, boy. Come on. Hey, welcome to From the Bayou to the World. I'm Kurt. This is my kitchen. Come on in, grab a seat, get your cup of coffee. We're doing chicken tonight. So, hey, smothered chicken, Cajun classic, Creole classic, goes back as long as anybody can remember. And something a little newer, at least to me, with sticky chicken, or what's called a burnt sugar gravy. So we're going to get into that. What is it? What it does? What happens to it? Why would I want that over this? Maybe the origins of it. We're going to try and figure it out. But we need to thank our sponsors. Gilroy's Greatest Foods, makers of Louisiana love. If you're not cooking with Louisiana love, you ain't loving what you're cooking. But let's get you some today. We're all over the place. Check us out online, gilroysgreatest.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, all those social media sites. So chicken, there's only a few things on the cutting board. Chicken, onions, garlic, a little bit of brown sugar. So we're going to get into how this came to be, why it's so popular, what makes it so good, and I'm going to share a little secret with you. But we never made this, but I'm going to make it tonight. I have a pretty good idea what was fixing to happen, how it comes to be. So we're going to give it a shot. I did a little reading on it. So we're going to take a little break. When you come back, we're going to get this cleaned up. We're going to start talking about how to break down our chicken. Going to talk a lot about sanitation too, because we're all dealing with poultry. And then we're going to talk about the anatomy of a burnt sugar gravy and a traditional smothered chicken gravy. You do not want to miss this show. Come back and see us in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to From the Bayou to the World. I'm Kurt. We're doing chicken. It's the Battle of the Chicken Gravies tonight. Sticky chicken, burnt sugar gravy versus traditional Cajun smothered chicken. So listen, where I came from, St. Landry Parish, I never heard of we never called it sticky chicken. It was always smothered chicken, which is great, fantastic. It's chicken in a brown gravy. If you watched one of our early episodes, you could call it chicken étouffée because étouffée means smothered. But it's smothered chicken, okay? So brown really well chicken, and then made a gravy out of it and let it cook until it was fall off the bone tender, and that's fantastic. But then you start hearing about sticky chicken. Well, when you eat regular smothered chicken, it's sticky and it's sticky. So I always assumed that that's what it was. And to some people, that is what it is, but not so much. And this is where Cajun and Creole cultures, this is where the different parts of Acadiana get kind of divided. So there's a segment of Acadiana that does burnt sugar gravy. And when I say sugar, I mean sugar, brown sugar. You put brown sugar in the pot and you caramelize it. Now they say burnt. It's not burnt. I'm going to show you what burnt is in a little while. But what they mean is darkened or caramelized. So you're basically making a caramel. So first question comes to mind, Curtis, is my gravy going to be sweet? Yes, it's going to be a little sweet. And that is like sweet and sour dishes you find in Asian food, or even in any other type of culture food where you have a little bit of sweet to balance the heat and the savoriness. So I'm anticipating this is going to be delicious, and I think it will be. So let's talk about food safety, poultry. Okay, you need to keep it under refrigeration until you use it, and you also need this. Come see, Matt. Come follow me, right? You need this. You need a sink of soapy water, and you need to have a nice clean rag that you put in there, and you need to visit that very often and wash and dry your hands. Very, very important. Cross-contamination is a real thing. And what that means is I touch the chicken, then I touch the plate, then I touch something over here, and I'm carrying that bacteria all over the place. And it in an environment like your house where it's about 70 degrees, it's going to grow like crazy. So just be real careful, okay? Wash your hands frequently, warm soapy water. So let's talk about our friend the chicken here. So we have a fryer. It's about 5.5 pounds. So we're going to break it down. So use a knife. Sure. This is the easier way. Kitchen shears. These are called 2-part shears. Why? Because they come apart like this in 2 pieces to make it really, really easy to clean. These are made by OXO, and they're absolutely fantastic. So the way I like to do it is turn them over, and I'm going to cut the backbone out. Why? Because I have a plan for it. And I don't need the backbone in my recipe because there's really nothing to eat off the backbone. But I can still salvage something from it, and I can use it for stock. You hear how that's just going right through those bones. So I'm going to put in this little plate right here along with these wing tips because I don't need these either. And I'm going to put them in a bag that says chicken stock bones. And when I make chicken stock, I'm going to have some bones. So now I have what we call a spatchcock chicken. So normally you would push this and crack the wishbone, but you don't have to do that. Just take your shears, go right down the center. You're going to cut through the bone and then cut the meat. And then you're going to have 2 halves of chicken. Just like that. And then you just separate the thigh. There's not even any bone here. So here, scissors may not be the best bet. So you could come in with a nice sharp little knife, and you can separate the thigh section from the breast. Just like that. And then, of course, you separate the thigh from the leg. Just find the joint, and it's straight down. Right there. Super easy. And we left with the wing on the breast, and again underneath the wing, right in what we're gonna call the armpit. There's a joint right there. You're just gonna cut straight down, and that's it. Now, if this is a very big chicken, you could use your shears and you could cut right through this and make 2 more pieces out of it, which isn't a bad idea to do because this is such a big piece. Somebody gets it. So take your shears, and there you go. Just cut right through the ribs, and now you have 2 more pieces. And that's it. That's how you butcher a chicken. So, hey, we're going to take a little break. When you come back, we're going to start on our gravies and our sauces. We're going to talk about what burnt sugar is and how you get there and what you do about it, and also our traditional Cajun smothered chicken. Come back, man. It's the Battle of the Chicken. You don't want to miss this. Welcome back to From the Bayou to the World. God, we are in the middle of a chicken battle here. It's traditional Cajun smothered chicken versus burnt sugar, or what they call sticky chicken. So what's burnt sugar, Kurt? So it's a gravy that you use this for. This is brown sugar. So after you brown your chicken, and before you brown your onions and your garlic, you put in a tablespoon or 2, depending on how much you're making, of brown sugar, and you caramelize it. They call it burnt, but you caramelize it. So how you know when you've gone too far? When is it burnt? When I can't use it? I'm glad you asked. That's when it's too far. See, if you could smell in here, it's accurate. It smells burnt. It smells like something is burnt. I'm gonna have to light a candle in here after this. So you can see how it's super black. It looks like coal. And it's smoking like crazy. You can't use this. It's too far. Okay. So what you are looking for, I'm going to show you later on. You're going to go from this color to a dark chocolate color, but it's not going to be this. Okay. Once it reaches this, yeah, there's no coming back. Okay. So that's too much. And look, when you see that smoke, that's how you know. Because that's not steam, that's smoke. That's smoke, it's burnt. So we're going to put that in the back and we're going to let it cool off. And look, don't worry about the pot. Or if that does happen, just put some cold water in it, let it sit. It'll release the sugar and it'll come out. So you can hear some sizzling and popping and all that. We got chicken in 2 skillets back here. One we're going to do the traditional way, and one we're going to do our burnt sugar. So, and it's browning up beautifully. Look at the color on this. This is fantastic. This is just what we want. So the idea is that we're going to brown it real well. Then we're going to put in our aromatics, our onions. We're going to brown those real well. But then we're going to, before we do the onions in one pot, we're going to put a tablespoon of brown sugar, and we're going to caramelize it. Then we're going to add our onions. So you may say, Kurt, how do I keep the sugar from burning? Once you put the onions in the pot, you will stop that process because the onions are very cold, and they are going to bring that temperature down. They're going to stop it from advancing until it gets to that burnt stage. And once your onions are nice and caramelized brown, then you're going to add your chicken back, and we're going to add some liquid, and we're going to get that to start to make our gravy and tenderize our chicken. So we got 2 pots here, and we're going to have one against the other. They both smell fantastic. So which one is it going to be? I don't know. But, boy, I think they're both going to be good. We're going to be hard-pressed. I'm going to make Matt decide. We're going to make Matt decide which one is good. But, hey, come on back. We're going to cut up our onions. We're going to move along and start building our gravy. And it's going to be chicken time in just a little bit. Burnt sugar, sticky chicken versus traditional Cajun smothered chicken. Come on back, man. Bayou to the world. Welcome back to From the Bayou to the World. We're in the middle of battle chicken here. Look at this. Look at how beautifully this is brown. This is what you're going for, guys. Nice, deep, mahogany color, brown skin, brown meat. This is what's going to help to build our flavor profile. Now we have to do our aromatics, so we're going to chop up a little onion. So you cut off. Onion has two sides. You have the root side and you have the stem side. You want to cut off the stem side and cut through the root side. And the reason why is when we peel it and we chop it, the root side is going to hold everything together for us. Always a good idea to have your little trash bowl, real handy. Save you from trips to the garbage can. Another piece like that. Oh, it smells good in here. There you. All right. So, straight down. So you want these cuts to be as uniform as possible in thickness, right? Try and make them as even as you can. Then you turn it 9 degrees. Use the claw. Turn your fingers in so the blade rests against the sides of your fingers, not the tips. And then you just go straight down. This is not a speed contest. If you watch TV and you see those guys go all crazy, they know what they're doing. They cut onions by the 50-pound sacks, and that's fine. But you don't have to do that. That's how you end up getting cut. So all those peelings, you could put that in your stock as well. So try not to throw anything away. All right. So we have our onion cut up. That's great. So now we're going to cut up our garlic, and I'm going to show you all a little tool I've been having for a long time. Matt saw he's going to run out and get him one right now. It's called a cannoli. And the reason why it's called a cannoli is because it looks like an Italian cannoli, right? It's a piece of rubber or plastic or whatever it's made of. You take a garlic, you put it inside, you give it a roll, and it makes a crunchy sound, and it comes out peeled, just like that. Yeah, I'll show you again. Take it inside. Couple little rolls, and it comes out perfect every time. Every time. This is fantastic when you have a bunch of garlic you need peeled. And also this way you could buy whole garlic, which stays fresher longer. It's not been processed. You don't have to hold it in the refrigerator. And when you peel it and cut it, it's so much better than the processed kind, the kind of jar or the kind that's already been peeled. So we're going to brown our onions first, then our garlic. Speaking of which, we got our pots back here, just kind of got all our loveliness in there. I'm going to take half of these onions and distribute them in each pot because I'm doing half a chicken in each pot. If you want more onions, put more onions. That is a sound you want to hear. So what's going to happen is as soon as those onions hit that, they're going to sizzle as soon as they hit the bottom of the pan, and then the cell walls are going to start to break down and they're going to give up their liquid. So when they do that, that's called sweating. And then after the liquid evaporates, then the onions will start to brown. But in this pot, I'm going to put our brown sugar. I'm putting our brown sugar in. Now, this is what we have to watch carefully now, because we showed you earlier that this can turn into a mess real quick. So I got medium high fire. The sugar has already dissolved. And now I don't want to mess with it too much. I'm going to let it come up, and it's going to start to caramelize on its own. But I can't be inattentive. I can't go somewhere else. I have to stick around because it's going to turn really quick. If you think a roux turns quick, wait till that sugar starts to turn. Get our onions going in here. Give them a little stir. Try not to let them pile up. Try and get them as nice and even layered as you can. Just like that. When you brown the chicken, try not to use a fork. You stick in that fork, you start to tear that skin, tear the flesh up, and just use some tongs if you can. That's always the best way. So our sugar's coming. You see, sugar already wants to start turning, but it's not quite there yet. We want to get it a nice dark brown color, but not black. We don't want it to start smoking and have that burnt scent, that acrid scent. Once it goes there, it's too far. And we can see now we have some sugar we have some smoke starting to come up. So we're already almost there. So we're going to watch it real close. And I can smell right now, this is it. This is all we want to go. So immediately I want to go ahead and take my onions and drop them right in there. Hear that sound? That is a temperature differential. The onions are much cooler than the sugar, so it slows that process down. So now I don't have to worry about the sugar burning. So now I'm gonna brown my onions in the burnt sugar. Look at that color. That color is absolutely amazing. Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. Look at the color on that spoon. Look at that. That's what you want right there. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So look, if you think, oh man, I don't know, man, I might have too much going on. Just hit it with a little bit of water. Just hit it with a little bit of water. It'll pick up what's on the bottom of the pot. The water will reduce out. And you'll have beautiful, beautiful gravy. Once that water evaporates, the onions will brown, and you'll be back in business. In the meantime, don't forget about pot number 2. All right. Beautiful. Oh, we're coming along just fine right now. Look, water right here. We got a little bit of vin blanc. That's some white wine. We're going to use that to deglaze. But right now, I'm going to chop me up a couple cloves of garlic so I could get them in the pot. Smash them. Run your knife through them. Now, you could do this as fine as you want. And I've had gravies where I put whole cloves of garlic in there because I enjoy eating them whenever I have the rice, when I have my rice and gravy later. But some people don't. So you could do whatever you want to do. Little garlic. I'm going to put that in one pan. Now, garlic browns quickly, so be careful. Right. Smothered chicken. always reminds me of a Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening. That was often a supper on Sunday evenings because it was easy, it furnished well, and Sundays were kind of lazy. So you got to put it on in the middle of the day and just let it kind of sit around and get lovely. And there you go. Little garlic right in the pot. And there we go. So, hey, when you come back, more chicken loveliness. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Come on. Welcome back to From the Bayou to the World. Look at what we got here, boys and girls. We added a little bit of white wine, a little bit of Van Blanc. We got our gravy rolling, our chickens in there. Lord, that looks good. Look at the color of that gravy. You do not want to miss this plate up because we're going to eat in just a little bit. Come on back, huh? Welcome back to From the Bayou to the World. This is it. Here we have it side by side. We have burnt sugar gravy, sticky chicken, and we have traditional smothered chicken right here. Right off the bat, those sugar gravies a little darker than the other one. They smell fantastic. Before I dig in, and I think our sponsors, Gilroy's Greatest Foods, makers of Louisiana Love. If you're not using Louisiana Love, your smothered chicken isn't as good as it could be. So give it a shot. Check us out, gilroysgreatest.com, Facebook, Instagram, all the rest of the stuff. So yeah, so we did two versions of the same dish. We did smothered chicken two ways, basically. Traditional Cajun Creole dish where we made a beautiful brown gravy with chicken smothered just in its own natural way. And then this way we did what's referred to as burnt sugar. It isn't really burnt. It's caramelized brown sugar, which adds not only a depth of color, which you could obviously see, adds a little bit of sweetness and a very, look, hey, I'm going to let you in. I tasted a little bit of it, all right? It's just kind of something playing in the background that's really, really good. Now, I could have probably taken this a little darker, but I didn't. This is where I ended up with it, and it looks fantastic. We got some beautiful Louisiana white rice. I'm going to take a little bite. First, the brown sugar. So, yeah, look, there's a little bit of sweetness, a little bit, but it is so, my God, that's good. And then traditional chicken in the gravy. Completely different dishes, even though they look very similar. This has none of that sweetness in the background. It has a very rich, savory flavor from the chicken. We did such a good job of browning the chicken. All that stuff came up. We have our aromatics with our onions and our garlic, and we finish with our green onions. Two great dishes. Recipes are going to be posted online. You got to give this a shot. So good. I don't know which way to go. I don't know. I'll eat both of them. How about that? Thank you for joining us for this episode of From the Bayou to the World. Come back next time. The coffee's always on. The door's always open. And the food's always good. We'll see.